Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in a game called Gentes from Tasty Minstrel Games. I played this for the first time the other day. I don't own it, but I do own some photos of it that I took while I was playing. Gentes does a few cool things that I really enjoyed. One, this isn't quite my favorite mechanism, but it's kind of a runner-up, are these big kind of leaders that you have on the board. These are giant meeples. You can't really tell from this photo, but they're big meeples. You're not placing these meeples. Rather, you are visiting them, asking for their favor, using them in some ways. And the order of these guys matters, guys and girls matters, in that when you go to this action space, you can choose one or two of them, and the cost gets higher the farther away they are from the left. So the more to the right they are, the cost is higher. When you use them, you'll pick them up and you'll shift them to the back of the row. So basically their expertise becomes more valuable because more people are asking them questions or asking them favors. I've seen other games where you kind of ask the favor of different leaders or experts or things like that, but I really like this, how streamlined this mechanism is, and how it creates an economical flow of using these leaders. Really nice. And the meeples are just beautiful. My favorite mechanism, though, one of the themes in games that you might be able to tell from these videos is that I love using time as a resource, or time built into the mechanism somehow. And Gentes does this as a major part of one of the mechanisms. You can see my player mat here, and you can see these hourglass tokens up here. Basically, on pretty much any action you take, there are a few exceptions, you are going to have to spend time as indicated by that action. So actually you can see some of the tokens here. So if I picked up this tile right here to activate it, I would spend 1 time. Some of them have 2 time. Yeah, a couple of them have 2 time. I think there might be some that have 3 time. And when you do that, when you have to spend that time, you're actually placing time tokens on your track here. And when your track is full, your round ends. So the less time you're spending, the more spaces you have on your track and the more actions you can take during that round, basically. However, one little really cool decision point that you have when you do this is they're covered up. So there are these square spaces here that can either fit 1 or 2 time. You can see here I've grouped 2 there. Here I just put 1 time. And this is a decision that you have when you're placing multiple time. Do you place them as in separate squares, separate spaces on this track, or do you group them together? And the reason this is an interesting decision is because at the end of the round, you'll look at each space on this track and you'll remove exactly 1 time token from it. Therefore clearing those actions for the following round. And so if a space has 2 time on it, you're only removing 1 of them, and that gives you 1 fewer space the following round. So it's a really interesting choice about timing. Is it really important for me now to have more actions this round to complete something that I really need to complete for income, for scoring, for some purpose? Or should I save those actions for the next round by spreading out my time this round? It's a wonderful decision. I really like that decision space in this game, in Gentes, when you're thinking about how you want to spend time now versus later. So yeah, those are my 2 favorite mechanisms in Gentes. If you have a different favorite mechanism in this game that you'd like to discuss, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Or if either of these mechanisms, the activation of leaders or experts, or the use of time, spending time now versus later, if they remind you of another game that you enjoy, you want to talk about that in the comments, I'd love to hear about that as well. Thanks.